Hey Vanessa, I'm copying the link and uploading it to the school website right now so that people can get on.
Okay.
Okay, so the link is on our website under the APB Expansion Committee announcement.
Okay. Should we give
And
it a minute?
And we are live.
Okay. All right. Do we want to go ahead and start? Yeah. Okay. Do you have to call to order a work session?
Yeah, you should.
We'll call to order at 5:19. Does anyone have anything they want to revise or prioritize on the agenda? I forgot my fancy wording. Seeing no, what is that? Seeing no changes, the agenda is approved as written. Okay, and then on to the discussion part. This can be less formal, right?
Mhm.
Than a meeting. Okay. Okay, do we want to do parent committee members first and kind of decide what group of parents we want to invite? Do we have to invite K through 6? Can we only do 4 through 6? That kind of, we lost Paige. She just texted, she's coming back. She couldn't hear anything. Okay.
Oh, okay. Now we have you on mute. Oh,
Yes, I was telling Riley.
I can hear you now.
okay.
I couldn't hear anybody talking. I was watching Vanessa's lips move, and then I saw your lips move. I'm like, why can't I hear anybody? So I just hung up.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So we called to order at 5:19.
Okay, good.
And then do we have anything we want to revise or prioritize on the agenda? I can re-ask that since you couldn't hear what I was asking. Okay.
I'm
So
good.
then I did
I'm good.
Seeing no changes, then it's approved as written. And congratulations. Go take a bath. And I asked Deanne, it can be more informal when we move into the next part, and she said yes. So then do we want to start at parent committee members, and do we have to invite like K6 parents or only 4-6 parents, or what would that look like? And then how many we want on a committee? Because if we get 30 interested people, that's kind of big to function on getting anything done.
Well, I don't think we could necessarily select people, but I mean, we could say any parent with a child in grade 4. Well, I hesitate to even say that too, because what if there's somebody that's maybe got a second grader that has like really great
That's true.
connections somewhere that could
That
help
is
us do something. And even if they're not necessarily interested in the program, they might have, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think even if we opened it up, like I know that Mindy's gotten a couple of her parents that have said they wanted to. And I had one parent of a 5th grader that was asking me about joining the APB in general. And I mentioned to her about the 7th grade thing. She was interested in it. But other than that, I mean, I don't foresee us sending out something and saying, hey, anybody want to be on, this committee and offer suggestions and whatnot. I don't foresee it being hundreds of people. I could be wrong though.
Okay, so you think K6, just do everyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any suggestions on like a limit for how many? Deanne, do you have any suggestions on that?
I would probably limit your committee to about 7 people.
Okay.
Any more than that, it's just a little bit more challenging to get everybody to be at the same meeting time with everybody's different schedules. And then, I think that's a good amount of people to give a variety of ideas and feedback on things.
Okay. 7 including us, or 7 additional?
Well, so we have already 2 parents as part of this. So, we're looking for more feedback. So I would guess 7 parents total, and then you have a teacher and an administrator on the committee. So
5 more parents.
So 5 more parents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that sound good to you guys?
Works for me.
Okay.
If time is of the essence, I mean, I've already got 3 parents that said they'd like to be a part of it. Paige has 1, there's 4. We would just need 1 more parent.
Yes, but I think we need to equally invite, unless I'm wrong on that.
I just think as far as like that whole being clairvoyant, not clairvoyant, that's not the word.
Transparent.
What's transparent? That's the word. Transparent is the word that Timmy used at the training. I think just being transparent by sending it out, just so that it got sent out, so that everybody has equal opportunity to participate, or at least equal opportunity to know about it. Makes it not look like we're handpicking or whatever the case may be. But if we put it out there as a first come first serve, and we need 5 additional parents, and if you'd like to join, please let us know ASAP, because we're going to take the first 5 people that get back to us. Then we've got the four, if they're really still truly interested, they'll be the first ones to pop back at us, right?
Well, I would hope that they would respond.
I don't like first come, first serve because not everybody sees emails at the same time.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
And, if you're working and it's released during the school day, you're not going to have a chance to do that. So then it comes down to how are we going to select the 7 parents that are on the committee?
Well, you can say that we're looking for 5 parents with students in our program. Those that are really interested in helping us pursue a 7th, 8th grade expansion, please submit your name to whoever by a certain date or time. If we have more than 5 people interested, we will go through some sort of selection process. So we can put it in the newsletter. We can also do a group find, and we can also do a robocall to make sure that we get the widest breadth of people receiving information.
Okay.
And it could be, just kind of the random lottery. You throw all the names in the hat and you pick the first 5 that come out.
That makes more sense.
That works. Anyone want to be the name collector?
I don't mind being the name collector.
Okay.
Just do my school email.
Yes.
Not that my normal email is not accessible, but still.
Hey, you might not get them. Mine all went to
Yeah,
your
I
phone.
know. I know. They might go to the junk mail.
Okay. Deanne, do you want someone to draft wording for you, or do you want to draft it?
If somebody could draft wording, that would be great.
Okay.
And then we'll, do you have a date by which you want people to reply by?
So just working backwards from what Daryl said, he said he's pretty sure we have missed the boat for next Tuesday's meeting. So March 2nd would be the meeting if we can get put on an agenda that we would be at. So do we want to send it out and the deadline be Monday and send it out like tonight, or for Tuesday, send it out tonight?
Yeah. Because we have a training Tuesday night and we have our meeting Monday night. Is that right? Are we still doing that? Special meeting? No. Yes?
No,
Am I
I was going to
confused?
do that later once we can get more details, since we had more time to
Okay.
schedule one, instead of having to go and be like, we don't have a full plan yet. Can you vote for it?
Yeah. But we would need to do it before March 2nd. So we would need to have probably 1 or 2 probably committee meetings before we have a special meeting before March 2nd. All before March 2nd. So
Yes.
yeah, I would say we need to send it out tonight and have it be Tuesday, just in case somebody's gone out of town for the weekend or whatever the case may be. And then they have all day Tuesday to get their ducks in a row.
Well,
Maybe.
my recommendation was that we send the communications out on Tuesday. I mean, it is a holiday weekend, Valentine's Day and President's Day. And some people aren't even going to look at their emails till later.
So then if we sent it out Tuesday, how many days do we need to wait to receive responses? Because we can't wait too long if we're going to try to, because I imagine we would need to schedule a meeting that week as well, Thursday or Friday, preferably not Friday, but Friday if we have to.
I'm getting my COVID vaccine shot on Friday next week, so.
So not Friday.
I'm going tomorrow.
Um,
I mean, we could send it out. It's just really short timing. And then I don't,
well, the whole thing is short time.
yes.
I'd rather be able to get a plan in place for the school district meeting than not have enough time to get a plan in place for the school district meeting.
But is it more feasible to say, do it today and then have the deadline be Tuesday night, or is it better to send it out Tuesday and have the deadline be Wednesday night? You know what I mean? Which one's better?
Well, I mean, we could send it out today or tonight and put a Wednesday deadline and remind on Tuesday for a Wednesday deadline.
Yep. So Mindy.
Yeah.
Later on this evening, once we get the language drafted, would you like to make that robocall? We can do the same thing we did last time. I'll set it up in the Blackboard Messenger. It'll call you to record the message. When the message is done, then I can address it to the school and then press the button to send it out.
Okay.
That's fancy.
Yes. I've never done it outside of school before, but I'm pretty sure that I can still get it done.
No, we did.
Because I'm not driving back.
We did it that one time outside of school, didn't we? When I did the voting for the APB members.
Were you at home?
Yeah, I was at home.
Yeah, but I think I was at school.
Oh, okay. Got it. Did we decide when people needed to email by?
Did we say Wednesday, the 17th?
I'm good with Wednesday, if everyone else is good with Wednesday.
Okay. Then do you want to meet quickly on Thursday just to select the members and then announce it?
Okay. If there are
More than
only
5.
if there are less than 5, can we just have a meeting and announce it and invite them and then talk about whatever we want to talk about as well, if they're able to make it?
So plan a meeting for Thursday now. Get an agenda together.
That way it's set out ahead of time. That way we've got the time frame in there. And then if there are people that can't make it, then we can just have one anyway to maybe send out some jobs and not do anything crazy and then plan the next one for real. 5:30, 5:30, 5.
I think you're muted.
Me?
No, Mindy.
Oh.
Unless she's not talking to us.
I don't think she's talking to us.
Okay.
5:30 would help me.
Okay.
get on the road and get home in time.
I'm back, sorry.
We saw your lips moving and we were like, is she talking to us? Because we can't hear you.
No, I was I was talking to my phone to send this text message of what I sent to my parents.
Oh.
So you could see it.
Can you do Thursday at 5:30 next week? Okay. All right. Are we good on the parent committee member item? Okay.
Yep.
Parent survey. Do we want to send out a parent survey?
I think we should.
And we want to send that out as soon as possible?
Might as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you come up with any questions?
Well, I mean, obviously, would you send your kid here for 7th and 8th grade if we had 7th and 8th grade?
So I have old survey results from when, I hate my email, from when they've done this or wanted to do this before. If we wanted to use those for kind of a framework, or do we just want it one question only, or do we want to
Well, I mean, I
line
think we
out
can
questions now?
come up with a couple of questions and then maybe do some open-ended response questions, like, you know, what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, I'm trying to open this old one so I can tell you what the questions were.
Gotcha.
But my email is like, you have logged out, but it didn't really log out. It's annoying. Okay, so there was, no, the question's not on here. I think this question was what kind of electives you would like to see. I don't like this. Where's the question? It's just answers. Do we want to get like that in depth with questions, or do we just kind of want it to be like, would you send your kids here? What would make you send your kids here? What wouldn't make you keep your kids here?
Yeah, I don't think we need to get in depth with like what electives do you want to see, because it doesn't, if that's their reasoning for not sending them there, then we can't help them, because there's only so much that we could possibly even offer anyway.
Yeah. What does this one say?
That depends on how you set it up.
Hey, stop. Actually, maybe these are all the same question, and maybe these were, okay, so what I'm looking at is like results and their comments by grade. So I think it must have been asking, would you keep your kids here? And then why yes or why no? Because some people are saying, like, this is what I would want to see. I'm concerned with da-da-da.
Mm-hmm.
I want my kids in the same school as long as possible. So I guess we could just do it really simple like that if we wanted to, just to get, so Daryl sent Deanne and I a draft of a board memo. That is what would be given to the school board. And I'm opening that too. He said, so it'll have like his recommendation, and then we'll need like head count numbers, since we have to give like what our enrollment cap would be. And then he said we'll need a statement on why we want to do this, how our current curriculum will blend with the 7th, 8th grade, or I guess what curriculum we would plan to use, and a statement on how our current facility will accommodate the growth. That came specifically from the state board of education person he talked to, that they would be most concerned with how it will work with our curriculum and facility. And then I guess that is it. And then he did say, and I think he probably told you the same thing, or you said the same thing, Deanne, that we would want to open, if we get it approved, we would want to open the lottery, but we would want like proof of
Letters of intent.
people interested in,
Yep.
yeah, notice of intent, and proof of enough people that would want to enroll in the program. And we do have on our side 6 charter schools already go through 8th grade out of the 9 charter schools.
Yep.
It's just a matter of time before we're able to do it anyway. Just need the.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Go ahead.
No, I was done.
I think we're the only K-6 school. All the other elementary schools have a middle school component.
So do we just want to keep it simple like that? Would you be interested in keeping your student here for 7th and 8th grade? Why or why not? Just to give it, if someone's like, no, because we can't participate in sports, then we can say, actually, this opens the door for us to be able to compete in middle school sports. Kind of.
Yeah. So you could say, if you hadn't considered keeping your student here for 7th and 8th grade, what things would you like to see? Or what would make you consider us? Or keeping your kid here for the 7th and 8th grade?
So phrase it like a question that says, would you consider keeping your child here for 7th and 8th grade? And then like, if yes,
Chocolate chips.
why?
Dog
What
Dog trouble.
That's a good way to say that. If yes, what currently would make you want to keep them here? And then like you just said, if you hadn't considered keeping your student here for 7th, 8th, what would make you consider keeping them?
Mm-hmm.
Or what would make you consider choosing Eagle Academy for 7th, 8th?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the wording. How would you word it? I guess what would need to be in place before you would continue to enroll your student in a middle school program here?
Trying to
I know that one of the things the district really looks at when they consider new charter school applications, they did that with Stream a few years ago, was those those letters of intent or the
I know. Yeah, is that the only part you've seen? Wait, how?
commitment by families was a really big factor in the district's decision to approve their charter.
So what
Could you,
is a letter of intent from us, or would we be getting like letters of intent from each parent interested? From each
From
parent?
parents, yep.
Okay. So kind of like what we send out every year to the whole school for returning the next year, that kind of letter.
Mhm.
Okay.
should you put that as a question on there too? Like, would
Yeah,
you,
would you be
if
willing
you are
to sign?
interested, would
Yeah.
you be willing to fill out a letter of intent for us to present to the school board when looking
Yeah.
to add this to the charter?
I mean, obviously, it's non-binding, right?
Yeah.
We can't
Sure.
hold anybody to it, but would they be willing to do that so that the district knows we have people who are seriously wanting this program?
Is it actually not even? I don't know what's the brand of the.
Okay.
What's that?
Oh, these were, okay. I was trying to think, we had questions kind of like this when we did the parent survey for that thing that we did, with Timmy.
That thing we did. That thing. Strategic planning.
Strategic.
There you go.
I had to think, it's been a really, really long day, I didn't even work, but it's been a long day. Deanna knows.
So one question is that we had done is why did you keep or will keep your child at EACS for 6th grade when other options or opportunities are available? And then why did you not keep or will not keep your child at EACS for 6th grade? If you could, so we could do something like that, word it kind of like that.
Mhm.
Okay. Is that all we want to put on there?
I
The
think
letter
short
of
and
intent.
sweet.
Short and sweet.
But ask about the letter of
And the
intent.
letter of
Yeah.
intent. Yeah.
Mhm.
So would you keep your kids here? If you would, why? If you hadn't considered it, what would make you consider it? And would you be willing to sign a letter of intent?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you want me to draft that like a Google form and send it out to you guys to approve the questions, and then we can send it out?
That's fine.
Almost got it written.
Is that what you're quietly doing over there?
Yep. You guys are talking and I'm just writing. So I just started out with the committee is looking into the possibility of expanding our K6 program to include 7th and 8th grade. Are you interested in your child or children attending our 7th grade in the fall of 2021, 2022? If yes, please tell us what you would prefer, face-to-face, virtual, half face-to-face, half virtual, and other. Would you be willing to sign a letter of intent? Yes or no? If no, what would help you consider choosing our program for your 7th grader?
I like those questions for your 6th grade parents. Can we write something more generalized for maybe, say, the other kids in the school so that parents maybe like the kids in the 5th grade or the 4th grade whose parents are starting to think about middle school?
And I like those for like a stepping stone implementation, like for next year, like you said, for her kids that she has right now. But we also want to canvass people who would consider for 7th and eventually 8th grade, because I don't think that we're going to get like state and district buy-in if it's only a 1-year thing that we want to do. So
Right. Well, my thought was do 7th grade next year and then add
Yeah.
8th grade the year after.
yeah, but for what we're doing, going to the district and the state, I think we're going to have to give them a plan of like, this is what we want long term.
Oh, I see what
So
you're
this is our interest that we've generated, that we can see parents signing up for, our 4th grade parents want an 8th grade in 4 years or whatever.
Yeah, that the program, you're going to do a phased in program a year at a time, and that we have enough interest to make it a sustainable, something
Yeah.
sustainable from here on out.
Can you keep those questions for your
I was
6th
going to
grade
say, could
parents?
we do
and then-
2 and have Mindy send her parents those questions and then send a more generalized to everyone?
Because I like
Yeah,
those
it-
questions for those 6th grade parents.
Yeah.
Well, we
And
also
maybe
have,
even send them. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, we have our 5th grade, families already considering, are they going to keep their kids here
Yeah.
for 6th grade?
And that
And
might
part
be a
of-
determining factor.
And part of their consideration is, well, why keep them here in the 6th grade if there's no 7th grade? They're just going to miss out in the middle school experience. So,
Well, what if we just added another question underneath that and just said, are you interested in your child attending or, just attending 7th and 8th grade at Eagle Academy in the future? I mean, I don't feel like we have to have 2 surveys. Are you
Well-
interested in your child or children attending 7th and 8th grade at Eagle Academy Charter School?
well, then could you just add just another question? Because you can still send the same survey out to everyone. And then you just have another question at the top that says, do you have a child currently in the 5th or 6th grade? Yes or no? So then you can filter out your responses based on your K through 4, potential interest to sustain the program later, and then our immediate 5th, 6th, 7th graders for next year.
Okay.
Oh, that's
6th,
fancy.
7th graders for next year. That way you don't have to have 2 surveys. You can still disaggregate your data.
So if you kept your questions for the current 6th graders, but you were going to include the 5th graders in that, maybe say something, if you have a 6th grader, would you da 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 da? If you have a 5th grader, would you keep them at Eagle Academy for 6th grade, knowing there's going to be a 7th and 8th grade type
Or
question?
maybe just, are you interested in your child attending 7th and 8th grade at Eagle Academy? And then the question would be, 6th grade parents, would you be willing to sign a letter of intent for your child to attend 7th grade for the 2021-2022 school year?
We might want for numbers 5th and 6th grade.
Mhm. Yes.
Just
Okay,
because 6th grade is smaller.
okay.
I feel like this year we might get a good group though of kids that stay, just based off of the ones I've talked to. Obviously that's just talking, but
But if we can get like 8 from that and 10 from, then
Right.
that would look better.
And
Or we
you know,
could, if we don't want to do the question of do you have a child in 5th or 6th grade, could do like a first question of what grades are your children in, and they can like pick.
Okay, I'll lock up. You too.
I don't know if that would be helpful or not to see on all the responses. Are mostly 1st grade parents interested in keeping them for 7th and 8th grade, or are mostly 4th and 5th grade interested in keeping them for 7th and 8th grade?
well, that would be interesting. I don't know how much responses we would get from, at this point, I would probably just keep K through 4 separate from 5 through 6. Because,
Okay.
you know, just kind of in general.
Okay.
Because some of our kindergarten or 1st grade families might not be thinking that far ahead just yet. And then I'm also thinking of some other way that we might be able to get an idea of families currently not enrolled in our program that would consider lottering in for 7th and 8th grade.
Okay.
I don't know how we would do that yet. I haven't kind of wrapped my head around that concept. But, you know, if we do open it up to in the lottery, I'm kind of assuming that it's not just going to be our families wanting that, right? Because they'll already be in our program, so they don't have to actually lottery.
Yeah. So I know when the school was started, that was something that they did was, you know, like flyer after, because there was not so much social media. So maybe we could put a survey on our the school Facebook page, not the PTO one, and share that. And put the same one on our website, or put it on the website and share the website link on the Facebook page and share that.
Well, we can do another paid Facebook ad too that pops up in random news feeds as well, because we won't use all the advertising budget. So
just to kind of get us some data on community outside the school interest for numbers too. Okay. Do you want to read your questions again, Mindy?
Okay, so let me expand this a little bit because I just put it on Google Doc. A committee is looking into the possibility of expanding our K-6 program to include 7th and 8th grade. And then please answer the survey questions below and blah, 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 blah. Are you interested in your child or children attending 7th and 8th grade at Eagle Academy Charter School? Yes or no? Do you have a child in 5th or 6th grade currently at Eagle Academy Charter School? Yes or no? And I don't know how to word this one, but I just have for 5th and 6th grade students only. Would you be willing to sign a letter of intent? And then I kind of stopped there because I'm not sure what else I want to say. And then if you haven't considered having your child attend 7th and 8th grade at Eagle Academy Charter School, what would help you consider this option? I don't know if that's what I want, but I'm just typing it right now. Would you be willing to sign a letter of intent declaring your child or children would participate in this program? Only thing I can think of right now.
You
at
could
6
just
o'clock.
add, would you be willing to sign a letter of intent? And then just at the end of everything that you said, say for us to present to the Anchorage School District for proof of interest in the program.
To the ASD board, is that what you said?
The Anchorage ASD School Board. There we go.
Thank you. Okay, for us to present to the ASD school board, and then sorry. And then what else did you say, Vanessa?
For us to present to the Anchorage or the ASD School Board for proof of interest in the program.
Okay. Okay. Option.
Gotta wake you up.
If you haven't considered having your child attend 7th and 8th grade at EACS, what would you require in order to consider this option? And leave it open-ended?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
So they can make a list if they have a list.
Vanessa, do you have an ASD account?
I do not.
How do you not have an ASD account?
Because I never signed up for one.
Oh,
But I can't, the email, and I didn't, because the email that I set up for just PTO and APB stuff. So that's all I use it for.
got it.
Vanessa, do you want me to work with Andy Ratliff and OMB to get numbers on impact to funding for another 26 students in the 7th grade?
Yes.
And then based on that and current state funding, the year after for an eighth grade.
Yes. Although something we might want to consider too is if we couldn't ever get full 7th and 8th grade, just doing a combo 7th, 8th. So maybe, can you get both? The impact of like a full 7th and 8th And then if we only had like a full 7-8 combo.
Well, it would just be one. I mean, you know, you get 20, I
So we
don't
would
think
just
that
use the numbers of one. If we
one,
only wanted to calculate one. Okay.
yep.
Okay.
Because the state doesn't necessarily fund by grade level.
Okay.
It's just a pupil is a pupil.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I just shared this document with you. I haven't taken it any further. What am I saying when they call me? Oh, this is where we're just looking for committee members, right?
Mhm.
Okay, 'cause now I got myself all confused on what we're doing.
Isn't that the text that you just,
Yes, that's the text I just sent. But see all my writing from what we've been discussing? And taking notes.
you need to know how to do shorthand because my notes are a lot less.
Oh, mine are like Mindy's.
Yeah,
Full page.
yep. I've got to put a little bit more. Well, I was
Oh,
listening to
you,
you guys while I was writing that stuff down.
yeah, you actually have a lot of the specific verbiage on yours, so.
Wait, what were you asking about calling you? What you're saying when Deanne is calling you?
I've got the
Oh,
robocall set up to
then-
call her so she can record the message.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We're forming a committee to
Yeah,
hopefully
yeah.
expand.
Okay. Are we still on the survey part?
Paige, go to your ASD account. I did
I
not
can't.
your Yahoo account.
I can't access it on my phone.
Oh my
It's fine.
gosh, you do this to me every time.
If you want me to do it on my computer, I'll do it on my computer.
No,
I
I'll
just
send it to your
can't.
phone.
You don't have to send it to me. Just grant me access.
It's just easier if I send it to you than try to figure that out.
Okay.
Coming.
If ASD wasn't so difficult and I could access my Google account through ASD from my phone, then I could do it. But I cannot.
Because I can.
Well, then somebody needs to help me figure out how to do that because every time I try to sign in, when I click on your link, it says that I don't have an account. But I do, I just can't get to it that way. So,
Challenge accepted.
sweet. Oh my God. Oh, you're typing while I'm looking at it. How cool is that?
Oh my gosh.
Maybe for the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, maybe say for 5th and 6th grade parents, or for 5th and 6th grade families instead of for just for 5th and 6th grade.
You can get on there and add that.
I can.
Exactly.
Hmm. Sorry. Apparently, my family is going to yell about animals so that you guys can hear it.
Hey, did you give him my Valentine?
I did. Emma Grace tried to eat it and cake all at the same time, and I'm like, "Oh, you have to pick one."
Oh, I would pick the cake.
That's what she picked.
Good choice, Emma Grace. I might have to swing by and get me another little piece before I make it home.
Well, it's here.
All right, so what are we doing then?
Are all of these questions going to all? Never mind. Never mind. I see the point.
I feel like this one, if you haven't, should go after this one. And then this one should go.
Which of the following would you consider for 7th grade or 7th/8th grade? So they know it's not 6th grade? Or is it?
Which of the following would you consider? Oh, la, 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 la.
And then should we add an option of I'll choose any option as long as they can go to EACS for 7th grade? Because I'm just looking
Oh yeah,
at it
like
as
that, like in
how
all of
I
the
would
above.
answer this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Or-
like if
Like
I was,
what?
filling this out for me, like I like face-to-face instruction, but I'm okay with virtual only, and I'm also okay with half and half. So I'm okay with any of the 3 options. My option is I want my kid there for 7th grade. I don't care how it looks as far as in person or not in person. So if there's somebody else that feels the same way that I do, they might not know which one to
Or
answer.
maybe we could phrase it like my preference would be face to face, but if that wasn't an option, I would be okay with any of them or something like that. Just so that gives us an idea of what direction to take it. If they would prefer face to face, but would take any of the others, or then it still gives them the option if they were like,
Or
oh,
maybe
I
you could
never
just
want
do
face-to-face.
other and then put a blank so they could fill that in. Oh, whatever though, it doesn't matter.
Or you can do the questions that are like you rank them, right? Is that a type of question that you could do? So you could put rank these in order that you would prefer. And then you could do like virtual, face-to-face, half and half.
You could.
I want to play devil's advocate. Actually, I
Oh,
don't want
good.
to play devil's advocate.
Go
Um,
ahead.
But I do want to caution you because I foresee a potential issue with doing a virtual program. And this is why the state funds their correspondence programs differently than they do brick and mortar buildings. Because you don't have to have facilities for students. So correspondence programs only get 90% of the BSA to begin with. So I don't know that they will allow a program to have a different funding stream for part of their school and then another funding stream for the other part of their school.
Would,
see what
is
I'm
that
saying?
counted? Is that counted like if it was half face-to-face, half virtual? Is it counted like that?
That's something that's, I think, extremely unique at this point. I don't know of any other program that does it. If they do an in-person thing like the huge homeschool program, Matsu Central, they have a face-to-face component, but all of their students are only funded at 90%. So I would hate for us to walk down that path and risk our entire school being funded at 90% for the sake of having a virtual program.
Is that something, could we still ask it? And then could you find that out from the district? And then that can help.
So that wouldn't be a district issue. That would be a state funding issue. So we would have to, Andy and Ratliff and I would have to go explore with the state how they would look at our school.
Gotcha.
Based on that. And so I'd hate to open up that can of worms. We can do it, but what's the whole point of us doing a virtual or hybrid program? Is it to save on space because we don't have classroom space?
Yes.
Or see, and that is where the difference in funding comes from, why they don't fund brick and mortar buildings like they do the correspondence homeschool programs, because we don't have the same overhead or need for all of that funding.
So just not put that in there at all?
Well, if you're gonna offer that option, I'm just saying that it could impact our overall funding and not necessarily to our benefit.
Right. Okay, well, we can get rid of it.
I mean, that's something that I can add into my conversation with Andy when I talk with him about running some projection numbers for bringing those students on. Like what would it look like, or would the state even allow something like that? And or is it happening somewhere else in the state that we can kind of use as a precedent for how they would fund the program, and then get that information back to the APB.
Well, I think obviously, ideally, we want everybody there all the time, but not knowing how many kids we're going to have, we can't go ahead and hire another teacher, because if we only have 7 kids that stick around, well, now we have to do a combo class, which is what the plan is anyway. But if for some crazy reason we get 26 sixth graders and 26 seventh graders, then we're going to have a problem. We're going to have to hire another teacher for sure. And then, and so, we were just thinking, well, if we did only have 6 or 7 kids, then maybe we could do some sort of virtual or combination face-to-face virtual situation
I think it's worth,
since it would be a combo class.
I think it's worth asking still, just for that reason. Like maybe that's our phase in plan, and maybe they would be okay with it for 1 year, as long as the plan in 2 years is another teacher in person kind of deal. And then if we have people, if we did it like the ranked choice, or if we ask what their first preference would be, and then second preference or something like that, then we know that people would rather go in face, but would still, or face to face, but would still consider an online option. And then, I mean, if we can't do online, then we can't do online, but at least we have the data to know
Right.
how to plan.
That's true, but you're going to show a lack of confidence in your ability to fill those seats by your unwillingness to put forth the money to pay for a teacher to be there. And so if you don't have the confidence that you're going to fill the seats, then what would give this district or the state the confidence? And I'm just telling you that playing that devil's advocate, because it has come up in the past, and it's a huge risk. It's a financial risk to the school to make this move if we don't have the commitment in numbers. And it's a risk to the district if, we have the funding in our unallocated reserve to withstand a year or two of low numbers. But in the case of some of those new charter schools and why some of them didn't, was because they couldn't make those numbers, and it became a financial burden to the school to have to support that commitment.
I guess when I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, if I could get 8 out of my 11 students now to come back for 7th grade, or maybe even, a few more from the community, that would be me teaching 6th and 7th. And I was trying to figure out how I could do that where I'm not being pulled back and forth to different rooms. Like, hey, I'm going to teach this lesson. I'm going to run to this room and teach this lesson. And then I'm going to run back and teach this lesson. And so I was kind of basing it on what we were doing this year, have one group attend morning and do language arts and math, the other one do social studies and science online, and then flip flop. But I know that would be asking 6th grade to do that, which is not optimal.
I mean, like a 6th, 7th combo face-to-face could work if we have the same numbers as this year, and then matching in 7th grade. If you did it face-to-face, you just kind of have to be asking it of the students. Pay attention when it's your turn and do your other work when it's your turn. I was in a 4th, 5th combo class, and that's what she basically had to do, was like, okay, 5th graders, here's your instruction for this. Now do the work that I told you to do. Okay, 4th graders, here's your instruction. And you already do that with the levelers. It would just be more levelers. But then it's a problem if we have a full regular sixth grade. And we'd have to be ready.
Yeah, because I don't know where I'd
Yeah.
put extra seventh graders in this room.
Right. And so I want to caution you, remember the memo to the board needs to be specific. If we're asking to expand, there's nothing in there that talks about year one, a 6-7 combo, right? So if you want to phase in the plan, is it just a 2-year plan or is it a 3-year plan with a 6-7 first and then a full 7th and an 8th? These are the unknown factors, but the district and the state doesn't deal with unknowns. And they're going to expect us to follow through with what we do, because these are going to be amendments to the charter in a couple of areas with student enrollment. So, understanding how it's going to impact your budget is a huge risk. And that's why those commitments or those letters of intent become really important. So if you don't have the interest to be able to fund something,
Well, I think the big interest is going to come from our 5th grade class. That's the one that we need to really look at, because if we start next year with a 6-7 combo, knowing that the 7th grade is probably going to be lower than desired, because she's got 11 students right now. And if we just base it off of those 11 students, not even considering any outside source, how many of those 11 students could we get to stay? But if the 5th graders we're looking at, if they are starting to think, oh, we can just stay here for middle school, then I think then that would make a fuller 6th grade and then a fuller 7th grade. So if next year the plan was a 6-7 combo, then the following year was a 7-8 combo, keeping in mind that the few amount of 7th graders that we're going to have next year will be the same few amount we'll have for 8th grade the following year. Then the following year have 7th grade, 8th grade separate, hoping to be extended into our building a little more or moving somewhere else if we have to. But that's kind of what I was thinking.
Those are the specifics you're going to need to have in your plan to the district.
But those are feasible reasons, and not like we're going to shut you down because that's not good enough.
Well, I mean, based on that, then you form your budget around that, then you form your staffing around that, you form your facilities needs around that. And, getting that commitment from our landlord to be able to do that expansion. Those are the ducks in the row that the district is going to look for.
So you're saying, since that is talking about really face-to-face, so you're saying based on that being the ultimate goal, not to ask about the 50-50 or virtual preference?
Well, what is the ultimate goal?
Well, the ultimate goal is to have everybody there.
Yeah.
No,
right?
The ultimate goal is to have kids there face-to-face all the time.
Okay.
But because we're all coming off of this whole virtual crap that we've been dealing with for the last year, trying to throw that in as an option to try to keep students also knowing that we're limited on space and teachers.
Well, I mean, if you're going to open that up and the district and we're going to be expecting that, you want to be really clear on what your phase-in plan is going to be. And be willing to, if you miraculously do fill an entire 6th grade and 7th grade, what
we would have to get another teacher for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. And we'd have to assume space. So I'm almost guessing that we're going to have to assume space before we actually need to fill it.
And that was part of when they looked at it before. And I don't remember if I've sent it to you guys before or sent it when like Aaron, well, I can't remember who, Fuller was still here and we were looking at this, but I do have, when they looked at it before, they did meet with the landlord and had floor plans drawn up for if we took the space to the right of us. And kind of like costs they had run out and sample schedules. So I have stuff like that that might be useful for us to look at again.
Yep.
To see if any of it's usable or not usable.
Well, can you, like, if we go to the board, I mean, can't we say that, you know, next year would be, you know, virtual, and then after that, it would be in person till we get the 5th grade class into the 7th grade?
You can do whatever you want. I'm just telling you, I don't think that that will actually, because they're not going to like the idea of designating part of your school correspondence and part of your school brick and mortar, and then changing that the next year. You know, the flip-flopping is the thing that the district and the state is not going to be interested in doing.
So let's just get rid of that then?
It unless you want it to be a permanent part of the program, I suggest that you stay with full face-to-face.
Done. It's deleted.
Do you think that's the reason that would keep some families here, is if they could do face-to-face? Or the only reason that would keep families here?
Well, I think the reason I just feel like the reason like that that I'm hearing more families that are really wanting it is because number one, they don't like greeting at Tuviac. And I get that, I understand that. And the other is they don't feel like their kids are being academically challenged at either of the middle schools.
Okay. Well, then that's not necessarily a strong push to have a virtual component to that.
Okay.
And you do know that they're opening greening next year, right?
Like this fall?
I think that their plan is to have kids in there this fall.
I thought
Really?
I thought it was 2022.
Is it? Or is it the spring of 2022?
I am not sure.
Okay. Well, let me talk with the OMB about the virtual stuff, but my suggestion is that you stick with the brick and mortar.
Okay.
Not only that, it's going to drive you crazy to do 6th and 7th grade and online.
That's true.
Because I'm not going to entertain any complaints that you're tired or this is too hard. I didn't know what I was getting into.
Fine. And just say, suck it up, Buttercup. You chose it. Okay.
Well, I think that gives us a lot to do between now and Tuesday. Right? We're going to send out a robocall and a group find email. We're going to put together the parent surveys, figure out how to do either flyers or Facebook social media. And then I'm going to try to contact OMB about funding.
Do you guys have, from when you, what is this, drafted this up? Do you have like documents or spreadsheets or anything that we could all look at to see what you had put together? Or
We
did you
just wrote it on a piece of paper.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, we just
We
started
wrote the
about it.
schedule on a piece of paper,
and we're thinking schedule and
and
really
was
the
all.
electives that I could actually teach.
Okay.
Mindy,
Well, do you want to screenshot and text it to us or something so we can kind of look it over and
Yeah, I can type it up too if you don't want to look at it on a screenshot. But
do you want to put
I
it
can
in a
also
Google
send-
Drive? Start having an expansion committee folder with the documents in there.
I think we should, just so we have,
can I access Google Drives you can access or no?
I
Did you give it to me?
emailed, I sent a share thing to your Outlook
Well, let me see if it went to my junk then.
and I didn't get anything that said, oh, we can't send this to her. So I'm hoping it went through.
I don't have an email from it, but I do have an Eagle Academy email that I set up for sending out the principal survey, and that is a Gmail. So it does have a Google Drive that might work better, maybe.
Well, I don't know. Paige has her Yahoo.
Oh, it worked with her. It worked with your Yahoo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. What's your email address again? I'm not gonna look it up.
It's v.m.hall@outlook.com.
Okay, I'll see if it will go again.
Okay.
Yeah, it just took it and it didn't say like, oh, I can't do that. And it will say that like with Pages. You're
Yeah, you're sending.
outside ASD. Do you still want to do this? Yes.
Yes.
If I can figure out how to create a poll on Facebook, I'm trying to do that right now. But do you want me to go ahead and do that, like on the Eagle Academy Facebook page, like do one of those poll questions that says something like, would you like to see another middle school option in Eagle River? Yes or no? And how would you like to send your kid to Eagle Academy Charter School where they're challenged for 7th and 8th grade? I mean, not like that, but you know what I'm saying? Like just a 1 or 2 question poll, like with something like that, because that goes out to the whole community, whether they like our page or not, I don't know. But it's not just our parents. I mean, it probably is mostly our parents or people that used to go to this, but it does go to
But we
people
can
that
share
used
the
to go
public-
to our school,
Yeah.
and you can share it. So like, you know, if we had families that were in our 5th grade last year that chose not to come to 6th grade this year, mostly because they're going to be going to Mirror Lake. So they're like, well, let's just go to 6th grade at Mirror Lake. Maybe they will come back knowing that we're going to keep the middle school going.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
I
if
haven't
I can
gotten
figure
an
that
email.
out, do you want me to try that or no?
Did you look, is that the email connected to your Google Drive?
No.
That would be probably why. What,
Okay. Here, I'll put in the chat. Well, not.
Let me forward this to you and see. But you might have to be logged into your own Google account to actually access the link.
I hear Quincy.
Yeah. Emma Grace is agitating him, so he's barking. And now she's yelling at him.
Did you get it?
Yes. Okay. That's why. But I can't make. Can you make a Google account without a Google email? You can't, can you?
No, I think
Um,
you have a Gmail.
If you have Gmail, you should be able to.
Well,
Oh,
I don't
it'll
know.
open it as long as I'm logged into a Gmail.
Paige, do you have a Google account with Yahoo?
Yes, I do.
So I guess you can.
How do you do that? Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. And it's connected to your, okay, maybe what I need is Google. It's connected to your Yahoo page?
Yeah. Trying to find my Google app here. Google. Yeah. So see, there's my email. I just did Google account like there. And then you just type in your email. I have like 4, well, on my phone, because I've got one for church, I've got one for my normal email, and then I've got Emma Grace's, and then I've got Josh's all together. I just can't seem to get the one that I have through my school email to get onto this account for whatever reason. But whatever.
And you're doing it on a phone?
Yes. I'm doing it on my phone, but I can do it on my iPad too. Or my Mac if necessary, but I try to do everything on my phone because that's the thing I always have with me.
And what'd you say you're using? Google?
I just downloaded the Google app. Yeah, so I have these 2. So that's the Google app right there.
Oh, and the Google Drive one.
And then I have that one, which is Google Drive. And then I've got Sheets somewhere in here, but I think it opens automatically whenever I have something in Sheets. Oh, there it is. There's Google Sheets right there.
When I try it on a computer, just trying to make a Google Drive, it wants me to make a Gmail address, which this is not. So that's kind of a pain.
All right.
Downloading the
Was
Google
there
Drive.
okay. Was there anything else we needed to decide now? Because I need to go get something to eat.
I had on there like a framework of what we're looking for, but we can wait to a next one for that and get the old info and what you guys had come up with, and then the survey results, and do that at a next meeting.
Okay.
So I'm still waiting for the robocall to do my,
You want me to send it to you now?
thing. And then do you want me just to then type up a Google form with these questions on it, or do you want something else?
Do you want to do the form and then I can send that out via Blackboard to all of our families? The
Yes.
link.
Do you want
And then,
on a Google form or do you want it on a Survey Monkey thing? 'Cause
oh,
I can do either
well,
one.
can you keep the results from your Survey Monkey?
I don't know that.
Well, our
As long
Google
as you don't
form,
delete your as long as you don't delete your account. I did a PTO survey like 3 or 4 years ago, and they keep them on there for like 2 years at least, I think, before it wants to tell you it's going to delete it.
is that a paid account or a free account?
I think I paid for it once, but after that it was free.
Well, I'll just do it on Google form and I'll just make it where anybody who has the link can take the survey. I think that would be the easiest.
And I can put it on our website
Okay.
so people can take it from there too. I think. So as soon as we get off this, Mindy, I'll send you the,
Robocall?
mhm.
Okay.
And then just text me when it's done and then I'll send it out.
Okay.
You want it to just the parents, right? Our parents.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you want me to do the Facebook poll? Because I figured it out.
I'm worried if you do the Facebook poll, then they might not answer the survey because they'll be like, I already answered that.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
but this is the community page, and so far, no, you can't read it. All I have typed is, would you be interested in another middle school option in Eagle River?
Oh, well, I guess there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, if we on the PTO Facebook page, we could share
The link.
the Google link that we're doing for
Yeah.
those parents to take on that.
Do you want to just also in the directions for the Google form, Mindy, ask each family to reply only once?
I can set it up where they can only reply once.
Okay.
But I will say that that please only reply once.
Because you could get somebody that replies 50 times.
Like me.
And we want to be able to use the data from this as part of our, if the ASD board has any questions, we can share with them how we got
Right.
our data. Okay.
Okay.
So post this or don't post this? Wait. Do it now? Wait. No.
Let's wait.
I know how to do it now, so I feel accomplished. Okay. Well, y'all have a good weekend. I'm getting my arm shot tomorrow.
Yep. I'll see you.
So, and Mindy's going with me. So y'all can.
Oh, are you guys both getting them together?
Yes.
Me and Judy and Stacy Keller.
Yep. We're all going together.
We're all riding together. Woo, woo, woo.
Just don't
But you
get
guys-
your second one together because the side effects of that one are supposed to be worse and we might need a sub.
Well, I'm
my
going to need to.
second one is like March 5th, which is right
Okay.
before spring break. So I can be sick during spring break.
And
Is that one already scheduled? Because I don't know I don't have that on my calendar.
No,
Did
Nurse
Jan already
Jan
schedule
said
that?
we'll go there tomorrow. They'll schedule it then.
Oh, okay. So yeah, if it's March 5th, then yeah, it'll be right before spring break, so you don't have to worry about it. We'll just have a crummy spring break.
For 2 days. That's it though.
Just kidding. All right. Well, you guys have a good night and a good weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
Adios. Thank you.
Bye.